What the?
Disaster strikes aboard an MC-400 during takeoff.
What was that?
Brace yourself!
Which crashes near the shore. The firefighters then made an astonishing discovery.
We found the wreckage of a small plane in the middle of the runway.
The collision of two planes on the same runway is very uncommon.
The recorders provide several crucial pieces of information.
C'est bizarre ça, non?
Everybody is ready?
But air traffic controllers offer the investigators
Don't tell me you did that.
a more promising lead. Shore International Airport, 2 p.m. A thick fog rose over the entire airport. But this does not prevent the 500 daily planes from serving the airport and its two parallel runways. Parked on Apron 2, Archipelago Air Force Flight 213, piloted by 3 military pilots, prepares for departure. In the left seat, Captain William Jeffries, who is one of the best pilots in his squadron.
So, Theo, are you up for flying this butt today?
On the right seat, First Officer Theo Goldwyn is a new corporal in the squadron and a former German pilot.
I preferred if you did it. The weather isn't very good, and with what they do behind, I don't feel like being responsible today.
Flight engineer Mia Garcia completes the crew. At 28 years old, she is close to becoming first officer.
No, don't worry. If you're not in the state to do it, I'll take care of it. Mia,
Yes, Captain?
could you... come in.
Hey there!
Hi!
So we finished loading the extra cargo. Here's the manifest.
The pilots are at the controls of an MC-400, a military aircraft widely used for transporting goods.
The MC-400 is a fantastic aircraft. Designed in 1993, it quickly became popular with the main Air Force. Its features have been invaluable to various military operations.
Here you go.
Thank you. Have a good flight.
Thanks. Okay, so Mia, engine start sequence.
Alright.
At 2:03 p.m., Flight 213 is finally ready to depart. Today's itinerary will take them to Terminus Airport, where they will unload part of their cargo before reaching their final destination, Beach Airport. The aircraft is carrying mostly strategic packages for future missions.
Alpha Mike, Alpha 213, ready to taxi, information Sierra.
Contact standby on decimal 85 and expect clearance in approximately 15 minutes. Traffic is high at this time.
Roger, decimal 85.
This is new, right?
I think.
Due to high air traffic, pilots are being redirected to an alternative frequency for their clearance.
At Shore Airport, it was common for traffic to become heavy, so they created a sort of alternative frequency for future clearances.
Mike Alpha 213.
At 2:19 p.m., 15 minutes later,
Runway 09 right via X-ray, Quebec. Hold short at Bravo. Contact ground 65.
Taxi to runway 09 right via Quebec, hold short at Bravo, decimal 65213.
the pilots are finally allowed to taxi on their runway, runway 09 right.
Taxi checklist. Flaps.
Set for takeoff.
Frequency.
Set on tower.
Strobe lights.
On.
Taxi checklist complete.
The crew reach the holding point and hear radio communications from an aircraft approaching their runway.
Sunrays 174 established on runway 9 right, waiting for clearance.
Sunrays 174. Clear to land, runway 09 right, wind 76 knots, and for information, visibility 400 meters.
Cleared to land, sunrise 174.
There.
Yep, I see it.
Tower 174. Visibility becomes poor. We're at minimum.
Copy. Leave the runway and contact the ground on 112.15.
Roger.
Mike Alpha 213. Clear for takeoff. Runway 09 right. Wind 075. 5 knots. Contact departure when airborne.
We're cleared for takeoff. 213.
Before takeoff checklist, speed indicator,
On ERS.
hot brakes,
Max on standby.
landing lights.
On.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
Okay, everybody's ready?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Alright then, set thrust.
sending thrust. Engine stable.
At 2:26 p.m., Flight 213 speeds down the runway.
Airspeed alive.
The aircraft must reach a speed of 157 knots to take off.
I have to leave us. Toga?
80 knots.
Checked.
100 knots. Rotate. And
But as the plane leaves the ground,
What the?
oh fuck, what was that?
That's an engine. 134.
Max power! Easy, buddy, easy.
You got it.
Crap! Brace yourself!
emergency services are being dispatched to runway 09 right.
I repeat, possible collision. Runway 09 right. 2 planes involved. Act quickly. I can't believe this.
Upon reaching the middle of the runway, firefighters make a discovery that will force everyone to consider everything that has happened.
Yes?
We found the wreckage of a small plane in the middle.
The runway. The others confirmed to me that they had spotted the wreckage of the MC-400 further on.
Alright.
An unthinkable tragedy has occurred. 2 planes collided on runway 09 right.
The collision of 2 planes on the same runway is very uncommon. It simply doesn't happen.
On board the MC-400, only flight engineer Mia Garcia survived. Captain Jeffries and First Officer Goldwyn were killed at impact. On board the crashed RL-42, which had 13 passengers and 2 crew members, Captain Aurelien Durand, First Officer Joanne Robert, and 1 passenger were the only survivors. Disaster toll, 14 dead. The survivors are taken to the hospital while the airport closes for the night. The next day, the full extent of the tragedy became apparent. It is now up to the Maine Air Accident Investigation Bureau investigators to discover the causes of the collision. Lawrence Waller is the chief investigator.
I was appointed to lead the investigation into the shore collision. We were under considerable pressure to get answers. Upon arriving at the scene, I knew the investigation would be difficult. Given the need to reopen the airport quickly, we rapidly recovered the flight recorders of the 2 planes.
Since the MC-400 is a military aircraft, investigators only recovered the voice recorder.
In 2002, military aircraft were not required to be equipped with a flight data recorder, which complicated the task of investigators.
While awaiting data extraction, the investigation is focusing on the direct witnesses to the collision, air traffic controllers. Perhaps they will shed some light on how the events unfolded.
Okay, tell me what happened.
I first cleared them for runway at 2:26 p.m. Mike Alpha 213.
Clear for
takeoff, runway 09 right.
We're clear for takeoff, 213.
About 20 seconds after the clearance, I wanted to hear from Ryan on the ground.
Main X530, change of plans, taxi runway 09 left by crossing 09 right on Plaza 3, Delta, and hold short at Mike.
Roger.
Seconds before the collision, the tower controller gets information from the ground controller.
How are things going on your side?
It's going well since you opened the other runway. I authorized one there.
Wait, what?
What?
Don't tell me you did that. My God.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
This is a very perplexing discovery that puts the air traffic controllers at the head of the accident. Upon further investigation, the investigators discovered that runway 09 left, parallel to runway 09 right, was in service that day. Therefore, air traffic controller Ryan Waynes deduced that he could have the RL-42 cross runway 09R in order to get into takeoff position.
Rotate.
Investigators are baffled. Could this error be the cause of the deaths of 14 people?
And
What the?
2 weeks after the collision, the data from the aircraft's flight recorders is finally available.
We were very interested to hear what the crew had said to each other before the tragedy. Ready?
Yes.
They begin by listening to the recording of the RL-42 to determine the crew's behavior that day. Main Express Flight 530 was scheduled to take off 2 hours earlier, but fog delayed the departure. The crew is French. Captain Durant is at the controls, and First Officer Robert is in charge of radio communications.
Alors, vu qu'on n'a rien d'autre à faire que papoter, ces petits voyages à Midland, ils étaient comment?
Ça va, c'était correct. Je dirais pas que c'était super, mais ça allait.
Everything appears normal on the recording tapes before the taxiing.
Main X530, taxi runway 09 right via Quebec, hold short at Bravo.
Ah bah j'y croyais plus.
Taxiing runway 09 right via Quebec, holding short at Bravo, main X530. Passengers, this is your captain. We have been cleared for departure and will soon be in the air.
This week at Grandma is more boring than I thought it will be.
Ok, checklist roulage.
Before the taxiing phase, everything seemed normal. Nothing was out of the ordinary.
The pilots leave their parking position to proceed to runway 09 right. But before they get there, they receive new instructions from the controller.
Main X530, change of plans, taxi runway 09 left by crossing 09 right on Plaza 3, Delta, and hold short at Mike.
But the request surprises the co-pilot.
C'est bizarre ça, non?
Apparemment pas.
Roger.
Johan, doubtful, confides his doubts to the captain.
Alors si je peux me permettre, ce changement de piste me paraît bizarre. Tu trouves pas?
But the captain seems determined to continue.
Peut-être, mais il nous a donné un ordre.
Avoiding their chance to prevent the disaster.
Ouais, mais...
Oh non!
C'est pas vrai!
Okay, so the ground controller asked the pilots to proceed onto the active runway. What do we know about these guys?
So, the captain was a former military pilot. Maybe he took the controller's request as an order.
It's possible. What about the co-pilot?
He joined the company less than 2 weeks earlier. Perhaps his inexperience did not allow him to express himself clearly.
Maybe, but by the time he noticed there was a problem, it was too late. The RL-42 recording allowed us to discover communication breakdowns within the crew, but without giving us all the answers.
Investigators are now turning their attention to the MC-400 recording.
Clear for takeoff, runway 09 right.
we're clear for takeoff, 213.
We were on the lookout for anything out of the ordinary.
Engine stable.
157, rotate.
Wait, stop a second. 157 knots doesn't seem like much to you.
A little bit.
Digging deeper, investigators made a startling discovery. Airport officials reported that the original takeoff speed was 139 knots. However, due to the arrival of additional cargo just before the flight, the speed was adjusted to 157 knots.
3.8 tons more, huh? Okay, that sounds good to me.
This extra weight made takeoff longer than usual.
I am convinced that the collision could have been avoided without the extra weight.
157. Rotate.
Continue.
And what the? What was that?
That's an engine. 134.
Max power. Easy, buddy, easy. You got it. Crap. Nobody even knows. Brace yourself.
That was quick. They may have seen them late because of the weather.
Investigators are now focusing on weather conditions on the day of the tragedy.
I have something. At 2:20 p.m., the weather service reported visibility of 400 meters, the minimum.
Yes?
10 minutes later, visibility drops to 100 meters.
So, that means the pilots took off with lower visibility.
Exactly.
According to the Civil Aviation Federation, no takeoff can be accomplished with visibility below 400 meters.
With all these factors combined, the accident was inevitable.
With the debris recovered from the crash site and the information provided by the black boxes, investigators concluded that the collision instantly destroyed the RL-42. This caused serious damage to the MC-400, including the shutdown of 3 of its 4 engines. The plane was physically unable to take off. However, the pilots still managed the feat of keeping the plane airborne for 13 seconds.
134.
Max power. Easy,
They
buddy,
fought
easy.
to keep the plane flying. They may not have succeeded, but they did not remain static.
Hello again.
Investigators returned to question the air traffic controller at Shaw's Tower to obtain further details.
Alright, I have a new question for you. Is it true that you ordered the opening of the runway 09 left?
Yes, since the traffic was getting heavy, I had runway 09 left opened and I warned Ryan. Ryan?
Yes.
Traffic is getting heavy. I'm opening runway
09 left. What you're going to do is redirect some flights to this runway.
Okay, yeah, I'll handle it.
This is new to you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like you were helping Ryan a lot that day.
Yes, indeed. I was his supervisor.
Pardon me?
Yeah. That day, his supervisor was sick, so the centers assigned me to supervise him so he could gain experience.
It's unbelievable. A controller on duty isn't supposed to supervise a rookie.
This discovery takes the investigation in a new direction. The tower's air traffic controller, Arnold Hillis, had to both supervise a new controller and manage the tower's position.
So, you have ground radar at shore?
Well, no. There hasn't been ground radar at Shore Airport for over 5 years.
The last line of defense, the ground radar, was not operational. Investigators now have an idea of the chain of events that led to the collision. It all starts with an additional weight load on board the MC-400, forcing them to adopt a greater takeoff distance. Then, a malfunction in air traffic control management led to a lack of vigilance and several errors. Furthermore, the co-pilot's lack of confidence in the RL-42, combined with the captain's experience, prevented a full understanding of the situation. The lack of updated weather information forced pilots to take off without knowing their visibility. Finally, the lack of ground radar prevented the tracking of Flight 530 as it entered the runway.
Oh no!
C'est pas vrai! What is certain is that one of these factors could have been eliminated. The disaster could have been avoided.
Damaged by the collision, the crew of Archipelago Air Force Flight 213 are powerless.
Crap!
Brace yourself!
On November 14, 2004, the investigators published their final investigation report. It highlights the poor visibility and infrastructure of the airport linked to airport negligence. Air traffic controllers and pilots are only considered in the report as consequences of airport negligence. The report calls for the immediate installation of ground-based radar at the airport, improved training for pilots in crew resource management, controllers, and airport management, and a renewal of weather services to improve their updates, which had increased from 10 minutes at the time of the accident to 10 to 30 seconds today. 2 months after the publication of the report, 3 airport executives were convicted of negligence and the involuntary manslaughter of 14 people and sentenced to life imprisonment.
Aviation safety has steadily improved in recent years, and this trend will continue. However, it is crucial to recognize that zero risk does not exist, and to avoid repeating past mistakes.